Hey everybody, this is Shannon and Michael. We're with Healthcare Genius, and we wanted to talk with you about our healthcare money plan, or our hump plan.
Hump plan?
Hump plan, and kind of where to start. We want to start with the basics and show you what's what. The way that we kind of like to structure these plans, and you may have heard us talk about our healthcare money plan, just to take a step back. This is a plan that's designed to protect you today while you're working and in retirement, and protect you against all healthcare events in the most tax efficient way possible. And the way that we like to start is we like to think of things like a pyramid. Start from the bottom up. And every single plan is going to look different for every single person. There are a lot of different factors, but it's really important to figure out what your needs are and go from there. So the first kind of need is a universal need that we want to talk about. And what do you want to add on that, Michael?
Shannon, great analogy with the pyramid. So our camel, we want to get across the desert to the oasis. No matter what happens, whether it be you, your spouse, your children, the goal, I think, of all of us is to hit that oasis, which is going to be different for everybody. And so when you look at building a healthcare money plan and one that can get you there, there's really a foundational element to that we see, and that's some type of life insurance policy. Oftentimes it's term life insurance. Where term insurance has changed in the last 10 to 15 years is that it has living benefits. Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about healthcare costs and something bad happening, term insurance now, some policies, not all, will allow you to use part of the death benefit or a good portion of the death benefit to support your family, to pay for out-of-pocket costs, to use really for whatever you need if something bad happens.
Yeah.
And that's a game changer compared to where we used to be in planning and looking at these types of solutions.
Yeah, I wish that we could call these types of plans with living benefits something else, like if something bad happens plan. But so it's not, it goes beyond life insurance. And that's something that everybody should have. I think sometimes when we think of term insurance, for example, some people struggle with it, which I can understand. It's like, okay, well, if I don't ever need this, then it's gone to waste. But what you really have to do is take a step back and think about, if something bad happens and you don't have insurance, what is going to happen to you? I mean, there was an example that we saw on a presentation that somebody gave the other day about a woman whose husband had $1 million life insurance policy. And she's like, oh, great, $1 million. She thought she was going to be able to build a custom home and do all these things. And what was her reality?
Her reality was that her planner said, you're not going to be able to buy a custom home if you want to have your money last, because at best, she can probably, in a safe environment, take 33%, 4%. So that's $30,000 or $40,000 a year. By the way, her husband happened to make a very good living. Her kids were getting ready for college. So there were a lot of expenses there. And $30,000 or $40,000 was not going to cut it to cover the kind of lifestyle that she was thinking she would get from that $1 million policy.
Yeah. So there are a number of different things that you should really be protecting against. And when you're thinking about how much insurance do I really need, if you have life insurance through your employer, chances are that's not going to go very far. So when you're thinking of, okay, I'm buying life insurance, I need a certain amount of death benefit, which again could also be used for living benefits, which is really great. But there are a couple different things that you need to protect against. What are your debts? How much would it cost to pay off your mortgage? For a lot of people, especially in Colorado, it's a pretty big number.
Yeah, Shannon,
particularly if you're young, right? I just bought a house last week. Yeah, last week, and particularly if you're younger, if it's if you just bought your house, it would take a lot to pay off that mortgage if something happened to my husband or I, and that's something that we wanted to do and not have that big monthly payment. It would be a big number. Next thing to think about, actually really the first thing to think about, and that I guess this is for most people, is how do I protect my family? How do I make sure they have what they need? And it might be, how do I replace my income for my family so they don't have to drastically change their lifestyle? And like the example we just gave, it can be more than you think if you don't want them to change their lifestyle, if you want them to be taken care of, going from a 2-income household down to 1, or in some cases, if you have a spouse that doesn't work or takes care of kids, those numbers can kind of creep up there.
Well, especially when you're younger. As you get closer to retirement, maybe those needs change. But we're going to make a statement and, make a comment below and let us know what you think. But most people are woefully underinsured when it comes to life insurance.
Yeah.
And by the way, term insurance today, if you qualify for it, is very inexpensive. When you compare it to what people pay for auto insurance or homeowners insurance or health insurance,
oh my gosh.
Term life insurance is very affordable, and you can pick a package, but it's just, we always get asked the question, how much should we have? Well, you probably can't buy enough in today's market because of where interest rates are. Because when you're talking about taking those dollars, and specifically we're talking about your heirs taking those dollars, if you pass away or having money for your children, interest rates are just so low that you're not going to make much money on that. So you're going to have to invade principal. You're going to have to start taking money out of that. And then when it comes to healthcare, what's great is that you've got these dollars that you can spend on things that maybe your health insurance doesn't cover, which we talk a lot about, experimental treatments, or as Shannon mentioned, using those dollars to offset your income. So the great thing about these policies, they really can meet dual needs. Both, you don't have to pass away, but you can still have protection if you're really sick or have a severe illness,
right,
and take care of your family. Because in the end, that's what we find our clients want. They want to be able to take care of themselves, and they want to take care of their family.
Yeah, absolutely. And whatever happens, to not, ruin everything that they've already worked hard to build. They work hard, buy a nice house. You don't want that to have to go away or get sold just so your family can eat. Same goes for your retirement plan, your savings account. You don't want those things to poof, be gone, if something bad happens. So yeah, that's kind of why we like to talk about this. We do like to start by talking about term insurance with living benefits because it is kind of the lowest common denominator. Everybody can figure out a way to get that coverage that they need at an affordable price. If you're someone that wants to look at different types of life insurance policies, stay tuned because we will talk about different types of life insurance and how they can kind of play into a healthcare money plan. But at the very least, you need to have some kind of protection where if something bad happens, whether it's death or illness, you're good to go, your family's good to go.
That's right. This is the baseline. Future videos we'll talk about other options that are out there. But again, our goal, get you across the desert to the oasis, you and your family.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks a lot for watching. Again, stay tuned for more videos on the healthcare money plan or the hump plan. And make sure you're subscribed to our channel and you click the notification bell so you know when those videos come out. Also, if you are ready to become a client and learn more about your specific situation, you can apply to become a client in our description below this video. And again, we're Shannon and Michael. We're with Healthcare Genius. We're always here to help.
Stay healthy.